Today I wanted to make a quick little video about implementing Scratchpad functionality into Spectrwm. You've been able to minimize windows in Spectrwm for a while now, but proper Scratchpads were not really a thing. But there is a way to do it, and if you're into BSPWM at all, you probably already know what I'm about to do. I'm going to use XDO or XDo and XDo tool to create and hide Scratchpads in Spectrwm. Let's get started. Now, before I get into the scripts, I first would like to shout out Jake at Linux, a fellow Linux dude. He recently helped Matt over at the Linux Cast with an issue he was having on Qtile, and this is where I found his channel. His channel is fantastic, and he deserves way more subscribers than he has. So I highly recommend checking out his channel if you haven't yet. And while perusing his channel, I came across his .dot files while digging my way out of an FZF rabbit hole that I had kind of dug for myself. I came across a script called scpad, and it's down here. There it is. And I decided to pinch this script and kind of customize it for myself. I took his scpad script and created 3 scripts for myself: scratchpad.sh, scratchpulse.sh, and scratchvifm.sh. They're all pretty much the same script, except for one command and the names of the classes. But what I wanted to show was how well this works in Spectrwm, and implementing them into my spectrwm.conf, assigning key bindings to them, and utilizing quirks to make it all work together. Now, seeing how I just launched those Scratchpads, let's take a look at one of the scripts that makes it all work. So let's fire up a terminal, increase the font size so everybody can see. Let's cd into .local bin, and then nvim scratch vifm.sh. Now, the other 2 scripts are essentially the same, but the first thing that this does is actually assign a variable. So wing class equals, and it's going to run xdo tool and run a search for a class called scratchvifm. And if there is no win class, it's going to use kitty and assign a class of scratchvifm, and then run vifm run, which is another script that I've written in my home/.local bin, and it runs vifm, but it utilizes uberzug for image previews. Now, if it does find a win class, it moves on to this part of the if statement. So if there is no file in the temp directory called scratchvifm, then it's going to run the touch command for temp scratchvifm and run xdo hide win class. Now, if it does find it, it's going to remove it and then run xdo show win class. And that's literally all the script does. So let's go back out and let's say control and enter. And let's run htop. And if I hit control and enter again, it goes away. Control and enter brings it right back up, and it's still got htop open. Fantastic. Now, another thing is Pulse Mixer. Pulse Mixer is fantastic, and I always want to open it up in a floating window, so having it as a Scratchpad is great. So Control P launches Pulse Mixer for me, and if you haven't tried Pulse Mixer, it is pretty much a terminal-based version of Pavu Control, and it is awesome. I cannot recommend this enough because Pavu Control is slow for me, and this is really fast, and I love it. LD seal of approval. Fantastic. Now, the next thing I wanted was a terminal file manager. So let's hit Control F, and it's going to launch VIFM, or actually VIFM with uberzug image previews. But anyway, I know this looks kind of odd right now because I have a 4K monitor, and this is actually in a 1080p window inside that. So all this actually looks good on my 4K monitor, and it's a little cramped on my 1080p monitor. So, sorry. So I'm going to take y'all through actually creating another one. And I've been playing around with another terminal file manager called SFM, or the Suckless File Manager, or the Simple File Manager. And honestly, I've been pretty impressed with it. It's dead simple. If you've used DWM or whatever, it's in the same vein as that. So if I fire up another terminal and increase the font size and run SFM, this is what it looks like. Now that is very customized, very customized, because I have changed colors, I have changed a lot of stuff, and I've actually even changed some of the keys and whatnot. And I may make a video about this terminal file manager at a later date, but I don't know. I may do it, I may not. But anyway, I would like to have this in a Scratchpad. So let me get out of that and let's cd into .local bin, and let's copy scratchvifm.sh to scratchsfm.sh, and then in nvim scratchsfm.sh. Now, all I'm going to have to do is actually change the classes and the names of the directories, and then change the program that's launched. That's all I got to do. And you see I have a bunch of Scratch VIFM listed out in this file. So let's change them all. So we're going to hit a colon, %s, and then Scratch VIFM. And we're going to change that to Scratch SFM globally. Now let's go back over here and change VIFM run to SFM. Right and quit. And there we go. So if we run Scratch SFM.sh, you see it tiles. We don't want it to tile, but it does work. So now let's hit VSP. That is my shortcut for editing my Spectrwm.conf file. And we're going to do a search for Scratchpad. And you see I have Pulse Mixer, the regular Scratchpad, and Scratch VIFM. And I have that set for Control P, Control Enter, and Control F. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to copy these two lines. I'm going to yank that. I'm going to paste that. Now let's change VIFM to SFM. And now we're going to change Control F to, let's say, Control S. Why not? So all I've done here is create a key binding. It's still not going to float. I need to create a quirk for that. So let's go on down here to the quirks, and you see that I have 3 quirks set up for the 3 existing Scratchpads that I've got. So what I'm going to do, I want it to have the same kind of functionality. So I'm going to yank the line and paste it right back. And we're going to change VIFM to SFM. And then change that to SFM as well. I'm going to write and quit, and then Control Q to refresh, and now Control S. Fantastic. I'm not sure why it's that big now. That's kind of odd. But if I hit Control F, it's still small. I don't understand that. But anyway, I thought that was kind of cool, and I wanted to share that with everybody. So I've been seeing videos about Scratchpads for a while now, and I just kind of shrugged it off thinking, oh, it's kind of cool, but it's not really useful for me. Until I tried it. Scratchpads are awesome. I have really enjoyed having Scratchpads. This is great. And getting that functionality in Spectrwm, even better. So that's about all I've got for today. I just kind of wanted to show how easy it is to set up Scratchpads in Spectrwm using XDO and XDO tool. And you can do way more with XDO and XDO tool than just that. You can do way more. So I may dig into that later on. I'm not 100% sure. Don't hold me to it, but it's possible. Because that is a very powerful tool and it is pretty great. So with all that said, thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope if you didn't find it useful, I hope you at least found it entertaining. If I can channel Jake for a moment there. I appreciate it, Jake. That is an awesome little script. Thank y'all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.